Welcome back to Kieran Racing and Fab. Today's video is going to be a little tour of my 64 Chevy II. Picked it up a couple of years ago, probably closer to 5, not really a couple, with the sole purpose of just having a cruiser car. And then my wife had the great idea of building a drive and drag car. So let's get into it. All right, here it is. 1964 Chevy II. I traded a 1973 Harley Davidson shovelhead for this. It's kind of been on the back burner a little bit, but I just got reignited. One of the last videos I had with this car, I talked about getting the body work knocked out. You know how body work goes? I'm not a body guy and I hate sanding. So with that being said, I got done as much as I could get done before I got disgusted with everything, and I kind of pushed it off to the side. But now we're back on it. I have a new strategy to get it done. And that was make it run, make it move, make it stop, and then go back to the body work. Because, you know, who wants to do body work? So let's start up front. I have a CPP Mustang 2 styled front suspension bolt-on subframe. Manual rack, coil springs. Moving up, right here is a factory, original to the car, 64 radiator support. The engine builder I use is Bobby Bamman at Bamman Racing Engines. He just recently moved to North Carolina. Contacted him about what to do for a power plant, and he asked me what I was looking to do, and I told him drag and drive events, or drive and drag, whatever you want to call it. Local cruises, you know, race the car. The plan is to keep it all steel, all glass, hit some like daily driver events, stuff like that. So he talked me into an LS build. He said we could build more power with LS for cheaper. So this is what he came up with. This is a dart block, LS next block, 427, Frankenstein heads, F310s. It's a hydraulic or short throw hydraulic engine. Be perfectly transparent. It made 740 horsepower on a dyno on pump gas from Wawa, 93 octane, which in my opinion isn't too shabby. 2-inch primary headers I built because I couldn't find anything on any of the catalogs or header builders. I mean, Jesus, they wanted a lot of money, and I know why they want a lot of money, because these were not easy to build. Like I said, 2-inch primaries, 4-inch collectors. I sent them out to Jet Hot Coating out in Oklahoma. They knocked those out for me. What else up front here? So the cooling system. What do I have going on in the cooling system to try to keep this thing cool going down the road? I contacted a company called Entropy. I saw an ad online about LS styled radiators. So I contacted them. I asked them if they could build me a radiator that would support anywhere between 700 and 900 horsepower NA, keep it cool on the road. I told them exactly what I wanted to do, and this is what they built me. 2 SPA fans. Every weld on this thing is beautiful. They all look like that. Like I said, I gave them my dimensions, and this is what they built me. I did have to open up a little bit because I wanted the biggest radiator I could get. I opened up both sides of this radiator support so I could get this thing wider. And then this is a transmission cooler. Again, I needed the biggest one I could get, so that's what I could find on Summit that I could afford. Obviously, Willwood. I still, the only thing really left to do plumbing wise is the brakes. So let's jump to the trunk of the car, what I have going on in there to support this LS engine. We have a Rhodes Racing 20-gallon flat bottom fuel cell. I needed to get as much as I could get because I don't want to stop for gas. A Holley in-tank fuel pump, -10 feed line, -8 return line. My thought was get it in the tank, get it in the fuel. You don't overheat the motor on the pumps, like a modern car fuel injection. I picked the car up and we'll go underneath there real quick. This is the front suspension with the CPP subframe. As I said before, 427 LS. I got an ATI torque converter. This is a BTE built 2-speed power glide. I actually got that, I bought that from my friend Eddie. Down the line, we have a gear vendor overdrive unit. The car is currently running 456 gears in a quick performance Ford 9-inch housing, 1/4-inch walled tubes, internal gussets, Yukon nodular, really heavy center section. Like I said, outfitted with 456 gears. When I talked to gear vendor and I told them I wanted to run a 275/60 tire, 2-speed power glide with a 456 gear, they told me the final ratio, the car would drive like it has a 373 in it. And then when it's turned off, we'll be right back at 456s. Moving on. I had to cut the whole back section of this car out. Factory frame rails were rotten and I didn't catch it. So I was looking for factory replacements, which were very hard to find. But Moroso does sell a set of frame rails that they say are for a Nova. I'm here to tell you they're not really, they don't go in a factory floor Nova. It takes a lot of work. So I cut everything out off the frame from about this point forward. These front mounts for leaf springs come on them already. All the sheet metal from this rail right here back is all me. Calvert Racing leaf springs, split monos. This aluminum block is a lowering block, but it also is adjustable. I can slide this forward and backwards to get the most optimal spot. Offers me a little bit more adjustment, like a rear steer situation, but I just have it all centered up right now. We're running the rear sliders, and if you guys watched my video of how I mount sliders, you know I make these for myself. It's an adjustable plate. I just welded it right to the frame rail, but threaded holes so I can move this forward and aft as I need, and I can get that off if I have to, in case I mess up a leaf spring. No, in case I mess up a slider bucket. All of the structure I put in the car, I put up through the floor. Everything pops up through the floor. Everything's 100% welded. What else we got? Cross braces, again, up through the floor, welded. Inner gate, I made this drive shaft loop, goes up into the tunnel. It's all one piece welded to the car. Outriggers go out to the rockers. I C-notched those and replated the inside for rigidity. It's pretty much what I got going on underneath this car at the moment. So let's get it down and then we'll go inside and I'll show you what I got going on inside the car. Let's get in the car. First thing you'll notice is the roll cage has removable door bars. I did that for street driving with passengers, getting in and out. It's a pain in the ass climbing over bars all the time. I caged this car myself. I bent up all the tubing minus the main hoop. Main hoop here is the only thing that I bought. Everything else was bent up by me and fit. Real quick though, I want you to notice how I hid the main hoop behind that B pillar. It's kind of hard to see it on angles. I did the same thing on the A pillar. So you can't see the A pillar from the side. You can see it from the front just because kind of had to do it that way. But everything is high and tight. Even up around the, what you call it, headliner. Everything's super tight. You sit in a seat and your head comes nowhere near the bars. Inside though, we have typical race car kind of stuff, mixed with a little bit of street car stuff. Factory original to the car, gauge cluster. I didn't want to cut the dash up too much, so I made this plate to go over the radio, factory radio holes. It's never been cut or molested. O2 gauge for the exhaust. This is for overdrive. It's red off, green on. I converted the cigarette lighter hole. I didn't cut that either. Made that plate to go over it. In the glove box is the ignition for easy access. Keep it out of the weather. Only hole I really drilled one hole up there for the tack. I didn't want to ruin the look of the car, so this is supposed to be fan temperature and I don't know, heat or whatever. I didn't want to lose the factory look, so what I had done was I made these work for the fuel pump, water pump, and fans, and I'll show you what I mean. I got it set up right now for pull is off. Turn on the ignition, overdrive's off. This should be fans. All right, this should be, I believe, water pump. I don't know if you can hear that, water pump's running. And then this is my fuel pump. And the deal is, when the key is off, they're all off, and when the key comes on, they all come on. We'll crawl up underneath the dash. I'll show you how I did it. I built this aluminum bracket and bolted it to the bottom of the dash. I already had 2 existing holes. And then I got these heavy duty switches with long arms on them. I made sure they're made out of metal. Drilled a hole in them, and then took the factory heater control cables, cut them back, cut them short, ran them through the plate, make sure they stay in alignment, and put these cable clamps on them that I got from Summit. I think they were Dormans. So right now it's in the off position. Actually, that's the off position. That's on. Off, on. Like I said, most of the time I'm going to leave them on the on position and just run them off the key switch. But I think it was a pretty simple solution to the problem. Like I said earlier in the video, I really just didn't want to have toggle switches hanging on the factory dash. I want to try to keep it as original looking as possible, and I think that it worked. I do plan on running a back seat. I do have it all built and made. It fits in there even with those ginormous wheel tubs, and it is functional. I just don't know how safe it would be with those 2 bars right there. You'd have to literally, one person sits in the middle, something happens, you're gonna be rattling your head off the bars. The car does run. The transmission is hooked up. I need to get a shifter, a drive shaft, and plumb the brakes. After I do all that, it's ready to finish out the body work and paint it. That's about the end of this one. If you have any questions about why I did something, how I did something, or what parts I used, please leave it in the comments below. And share and subscribe. Talk to you guys later.